Did you just sign into Yahoo Mail? WTF, man.
OMG.
Lol.
This is just a glimpse of the vocabulary we use to converse today. There's also TLDR, short for Too Long Didn't Read, BRB, short for Be Right Back, hashtag win for you get the point. When we say like, you think Facebook thumb. When we say follow, you think Twitter. When we say viral, you think Gangnam Style. In fact, these terms could soon be part of the top 20% of words that occur 80% of the time. No kidding, it's a law. Zipf's law. Check it out.
The top 20 most common English words in order are the of and to, a in is I, that it for you was with on, as have, but be they. The second most used word will appear about half as often as the most used, the third 1/3 as often, the fourth 1/4 as often, the fifth 1/5 as often, the sixth 1/6 as often, and so on, all the way down. Seriously. For some reason, the amount of times a word is used is just proportional to 1 over its rank. Word frequency and ranking on a log-log graph follow a nice straight line, a power law. This phenomenon is called Zipf's law. And it doesn't only apply to English. It also applies to other languages like, well, all of them. Even ancient languages we haven't been able to translate yet. Zipf's law was popularized by George Zipf, a linguist at Harvard University. It is a discrete form of the continuous Pareto distribution, from which we get the Pareto principle. Because so many real-world processes behave this way, the Pareto principle tells us that, as a rule of thumb, it's worth assuming that 20% of the causes are responsible for 80% of the outcome. Like in language, where the most frequently used 18% of words account for over 80% of word occurrences. George Zipf himself thought language's interesting rank frequency distribution was a consequence of the principle of least effort, the tendency for life and things to follow the path of least resistance. Zipf believed it drove much of human behavior and hypothesized that as language developed in our species, speakers naturally preferred drawing from as few words as possible to get their thoughts out there. It was easier. But in order to understand what was being said, listeners preferred larger vocabularies that gave more specificity so that they had to do less work. The compromise between listening and speaking, Zipf felt, led to the current state of language. A few words are used often, and many, many, many words are used rarely.
So why do we talk the way we talk today? Why is language evolving like this? To find out, we need to take a step back, well, maybe two. What is evolution? Evolution is a process by which organisms change over time as a result of changes in physical and behavioral traits. These changes allow the organism to adapt better to the environment and help in survival and reproduction.
We'll try applying the concept of evolution to language, which is to say, language is the organism in the given definition. To understand how language is adapting better to the environment, we need to first define our context, our environment.
We are living in the intersection of a real, that's the physical world, and the virtual world. Our lives on social networks are now becoming records of our own activities IRL, in real life. We have service apps that have become verbs now.
Just Google it, man.
Oh, we'll Skype.
We are more immersed in technology today than we know or are actively aware of. In fact, technologies like pacemakers, prosthetics, and wearable devices are literally a part of our lives now.
In this environment, language is rapidly changing, evolving to adapt to this common context, the intersection of real and virtual. Today, people are able to communicate rapidly through a range of tools, emojis and hashtags included. What is the difference between? The answer is paralanguage. Paralanguage is the non-verbal cues that accompany and help us express meaning and tone. But in the world of text, it is difficult to communicate these non-verbal ideas like sarcasm or self-mockery. Hashtags are part of a recent trend to see ourselves in the third person, to frame ourselves as performers, view ourselves from an ironic distance. Saying hashtag happy elicits a mental picture of the speaker viewed from a distance labeled with the word happy. Speaking of happy, perhaps no linguistic development better indicates changes in the way we communicate than the ubiquitous emoticon. It does not represent a face as many internet users assume, it's actually intended to convey a feeling. Words that represent these feelings are what linguistics call discourse particles, or little pieces of language that convey information about the tone of the statement, the paralanguage of the internet.
What the does this mean? What is she trying to say? Maybe she's making a pizza or flying a kite. I don't know, she's a bit weird. Maybe she's signaling aliens. Nah, she must be at that party right now. Maybe she's doing the YMCA. Nah, that's so old school. Maybe she's doing the Gangnam. Did she go alone? Shit, maybe she's been attacked. Oh, maybe she's whooping their ass. Crazy shit. Oh, maybe she's a superhero. Oh, what if they aren't her hands at all? Mind blasting.
Emoticons can be so whatever. It's time you let your face do the talking. Get the InFocus M370 smartphone. It's the awesome way to chat. You do emoticons. Now be emoticons. InFocus. Doobie-doobie-doo.
Everyone's doing it. Yep, using emojis. Like this. Or this. Oh, cheeky. And we all know what this is, of course. A sexy breakfast at a ferry terminal. So it's easy to suggest sex, but there are no emojis for safe sex. That makes us. Especially as it's around World AIDS Day. So we, that's Durex by the way, are asking all of you, yes, all of you, to help us get one of these made. An official condom emoji. Look at it. Just use the hashtag Condom Emoji as much as possible. So the clever people who create the official emojis will see just how much everyone wants one. And they'll make one of these beauties. So then you can ask that special someone in your life for a... with a... which protects you and them and, well, everybody. So let's get an official safe sex emoji on every single phone out there. Show your support by sharing this film and spreading our message using the hashtag Condom Emoji. Just make sure you send it to the right number, huh?
Keeping universality and expressivity as the primary criteria, Facebook tried to distill the vast range of human emotions into a single row of emoji. Like, love, ha, wow, sad, and angry. Maybe, with the paralanguage of the internet becoming the top 20% of our vocab, language will truly become universal.